May it please the court, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Alan Smith, and me, along with everybody sitting at this table, are honored to represent Ms. Slemp in this case. This case is very important. I think all of you got the sense of that during voir dire and the questioning of counsel before this case started. You can look in this courtroom and the audience here. This is a very important case that has far-reaching consequences and deals with life and death matters. This is a very, very important case. This case is about corporate profit and maintaining a corporate image over human life. That's what this case is about. And your verdict could prevent potentially hundreds of thousands of women from contracting one of the most deadly forms of cancer for women. I want to take a minute and take a 50,000-foot view of the background of this case so you get a general overview before I go further. And as you've heard before, talc is mined out of the ground like you mine coal. It's a mineral. It's a very dirty business. It's not created in a lab and pristine. It is mined with heavy machinery and hard labor out of the earth into huge rocks with machines they pull out of the earth, put them on big dump trucks, and they send these to be pulverized at a processing plant into powder. And once that powder is processed, it is then added with fragrance. It is then put into the bottles, as we know, and what are issued here, baby powder and shower to shower. And then Johnson & Johnson market and advertise it for sale for use in women, to be used in, among other places on the body, in the genital area. They know that's a use of women. And when women use it in that area, in the vaginal area that doesn't have a dermal barrier like your skin, through natural processes of contractions of smooth muscles in a woman's body called peristalsis, and we'll get into more of that, you'll hear testimony on that, and through processes called retrograde menstruation, talc particles can be moved through the genital tract, can land on the ovaries, and cause an inflammatory response at a cellular level. We all think of inflammation when you get a cut on your hand and it gets red and inflamed. That's not what we're talking about. Inflammation, and you'll hear testimony about this, can occur in a cellular level that you can't see. And when that inflammation occurs, that can be a pathway to cancer. That's a known pathway. And what happens on the ovary is it creates a neoplastic transformation. And these neoplastic transformations form tumors into what we call ovarian cancer. And that's the general process from the mind through the medical transmigration to the eventual tumor that we're discussing here today. Ladies and gentlemen, baby powder and shower to shower are the products that we're talking about here today that are manufactured by Johnson & Johnson. Baby powder and shower to shower contain 3 carcinogens. They contain talc, which is a carcinogen. They contain asbestos, which is a known carcinogen. And they contain heavy metals, which are carcinogens. All 3. Now, all 3 might be different degrees of carcinogenicity, but nonetheless, all 3 are carcinogenic substances. So when I talk about baby powder, or we discuss baby powder or shower to shower, the products that Ms. Slemp used in this case and developed ovarian cancer from, we're talking about a delivery vehicle in those bottles that you see of baby powder and shower to shower that contain 3 carcinogens: talc, asbestos, and heavy metals. And the defendants cannot say today that those products are asbestos-free. They cannot say that. The defendants have known about this for 40 years. 40 years, 4 decades. J&J mines its talc. Johnson & Johnson mines its talc in China. They are known to have impurities in these mines, and they do this in an effort to cut costs. Tens of thousands of women have been affected by the genital use of these products and the development of ovarian cancer. There are studies, which I will go over with you, a particular study 20 years ago that's never been refuted, that 10% of all ovarian cancer deaths and diagnoses a year are related to the use of these products. 10%. The evidence will show in this case that 24,000 women a year are diagnosed with ovarian cancer. 14,000 women die a year from ovarian cancer. So if we take 10% a year, think about the thousands of women that we're talking about that have been affected by the use of these products that have no health benefit. None.